This is a ongoing consortium member working team with about 30 people from 19 different companies contributing to this body of work. And the output has been a value map, which is a very flexible framework for how do we tell a story with the information we have. And it's very adaptable to different organizations, very adaptable to the changing environment that we are in. And the value map starts with our data at the bottom and who owns the data, who trusts the data, where does the data live, all the things we have to care about in our data world. Then going up to what are the repeatable evidences that we can produce from this data? So what are the signals and the measures that we can get from this data? That leads to results, insights, and recommendations. So now that we're understanding and we're seeing some evidence from our measures and our signals, what is the impact we can have with that? What story can we start to think about telling? And then how do we deliver that? So what makes it easy for people to understand? And I love this. What makes it hard for people to ignore what we're saying? And that's something that Christina really leans into, that when we're delivering this, we don't just want to make it so somebody can understand it. We want to make it so they can't ignore it. It is so valuable and so much a part of our story that you can't ignore what we're saying. At the very top of the pyramid is the audience, and who needs to understand the value of our information and the story we're trying to tell. What is their role and what are they focused on and what biases exist in that organization? So a really nice structured way to think about going from the data we own and who owns the data and where the data exists up to who are we trying to tell the story to and what do they care about. And, this is not a linear process. So we can start with what story do we need to tell for a specific audience? And then how do we go find the data to tell that story? As well as what can we mine from our data to go tell a story. So a great framework, but it's not just a pretty pyramid. There's a lot of work behind the pretty pyramid. So we have content that is being produced around practical how-tos, templates that can be used, real-world examples from member companies, all the AI considerations for how we can use AI to go get data and do things with data. So there's a lot of content behind the pyramid and the talk track. And it's still a few months away, but in September, there will be an event on measuring what matters. So this idea of shifting support as the company value engine, and how do we move beyond numbers to tell the story that really drives trust, scale, and revenue impact. So it's a 4-hour, 3.5-hour event that is scheduled for September. So it's something that I highly recommend trying to attend. And again, we'll keep an eye out for all the templates and the ongoing body of work. This group is still meeting, so it's not done, right? This is something that will always be evolving. But Christina has done a great job with those 30 people and all those members to really drive a new narrative, which has been something that is going to be very valuable for people to leverage.